Dr. Bradshaw.
Dr. Bradshaw, good to see you again, buddy.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me again.
I have a lot of questions. What I do is I just write them down and we save them
Yeah.
until you get in. So, Dr. Bradshaw, by the way, world-renowned Dr. Kevin Bradshaw, a chiropractic physician who graduated as valedictorian from Logan College of Chiropractic in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
World-renowned. Everywhere I go, people are like, I know that guy.
Impressive.
Yes. Question one.
Yeah.
If someone has a migraine or they get migraines, is there something that you can do that alleviates some of that pain or makes it easier on them?
Absolutely. Most migraines are caused by tension headache, or tension headaches, stuff like that. Again, due to posture issues, low magnesium, stress on the neck, things like that. So then they'll get the pain in the back of the skull, on the top of the neck, and it'll just kind of radiate over the top. So when we work the upper cervicals, kind of figure out what their problem is, why is that happening? We just, figure it out like that, get them adjusted and take care of it.
Is there a specific part of a headache that you're like, oh, it's for sure the neck? Because sometimes I get it in my eyes or I get it at forehead.
Yeah. Most of the time, if it's from the neck, it's going to come from the base of the skull, and it's going to radiate like a fan, through the back of the skull and through the temples. But, some happen behind your eyes and things like that. It could be visual issues, things like that.
So if it's a neck thing, usually it's back of the head.
Exactly. Yeah, like a fan.
And if someone comes in and goes, I'm having these crazy headaches, and you're like, oh, I think I can help you with that. If it's from the neck, from the moment that you touch them, how long does it take until they feel better?
So it's pretty instant a lot of times. Patients will come in where they've been having headaches for, weeks and weeks and weeks. And again, it's about diagnosing exactly why that's happening. But if we can get them on a good plan of getting good treatment with it, fixing things that are causing the issue, making sure they're on good supplemental support, making sure they're increasing their water, decreasing stress, things like that, it can take just, a week to 2 weeks to actually change their life on getting those headaches or those tension headaches reduced again. It's really cool.
What were you asking about your shoulder?
Oh, have you heard of shoulder menopause?
Shoulder menopause?
Or I guess it's menopause shoulder. I don't know which is which, but there's pain in the shoulder when you're having perimenopausal or menopausal symptoms.
So, no, I haven't actually heard of that one before. I mean, it's interesting though, if you have, when you have pain associated with certain organs, it can radiate to different parts of the body. So for example, a gallbladder issue, somebody has gallstones or something. Sometimes they're I don't feel anything here, but my shoulder's killing me. So when it comes to that, I mean, I don't know exactly that nerve tract that would be well, I'm having, menopausal issues. Is that causing shoulder? But that's where I could see the connection.
Oh, okay.
on it.
Well, yeah, I was just curious because I was reading about it. My shoulder was really bothering me, and my friend told me, you should Google the menopause shoulder.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and I mean, I have pain, and I'm perimenopausal right now.
Yeah.
Probably from your hormones in your
Pick
an organ.
My life.
Pick an organ. Yeah. Well, it could be anything.
Do you believe in acupuncture?
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Why do you think that works?
So acupuncture, just focusing on the Chinese meridians, and it's so cool in what it does because it just, each meridian's associated with, different organs and we're talking about organs again, in different conditions, but it does what it does. It helps get that energy flowing again. Now, I'm not an acupuncturist. I don't perform in the clinic, so there's a lot more, about it than what I'm saying, but I definitely refer a lot of people to acupuncturists.
We had this story, is it dangerous to crack your own back or your own neck?
Mm-hmm.
What would your answer be to that?
So it's not dangerous to crack. Well, it could be dangerous to crack your own if you're doing it in the wrong way. The problem with self-adjusting yourself over and over and over is that you make the joint hypermobile. So, teenagers, for example, they, they'll sit there. Does anybody have teenagers in here?
I do.
Eddie
Yeah,
does,
we got
Amy
teenagers.
does.
How many times are they sitting at dinner and they're just cracking their neck all the time? Or do you ever see them doing
Do you
that?
just pop their necks?
Once in a while, my son kind of does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. But most of the time, with the teens that come in, they're doing it 5 or 6 times in front of me as I'm just trying to get an exam done. So the problem with that, though, is that they make the joint hypermobile. And so then the muscles or the joints above and below the joint that they keep cracking repetitively becomes a lot more tight. And so they're chasing that, that relief that they get. And that's why they keep doing it over and over. The best way I can describe an analogy is with this is if I took a drill or a screw and drilled it into a wall. And if I just did it one time on that, it's going to stick in pretty good. If I go in another day and do it again, it's going to stick in pretty good. Now, if we just keep doing it over and over and over like these teens do, then what it does is now it's made that mobile in there, right? Now that screw's not sticking in that hole as well. Whoa. Does that kind of make sense on that? And so now we got to put fillers in there and stuff like that to be able to get that to happen. And it's a huge thing that happens again. I mean, I have patients that will come in. I'm literally going through like, what's going on with you? And they're sitting there and they're cracking their own thing because they just have such an addiction to doing that. And we have to discuss and educate. Hey, you got to, we got to calm down with doing that kind of stuff. Here's some things that you can do outside of it to help it out. And then, by us readjusting the areas above and below the area where they made hypermobile is how we loosen it up. And they walk out and they're like, holy crap, I haven't had to like self-adjust for the longest time.
What if you have somebody walk on your back to pop it?
So walking on your back to pop it, what that's doing is that's just releasing the nitrous oxide air out of the joint. So it feels good, right? It creates mobility to the joint, and that's why that's why adjustments feel good. That's why having like something crack or like when people self-adjust feels good because it releases that air out of the joint and creates mobility. Our joints want mobility to it, and when we stop creating mobility to a joint is when we start having an issue. So kind of back to that question is like, like your dog, wants to walk on your back or something like that and loosen those joints up. It feels good doing that. It's not a problem, but you can also risk yourself at like throwing something else out, throwing a rib out alignment, any of that kind of stuff.
What if somebody has like a crick in their neck, which I've had before, and you wake up and you just can't turn your head?
Yeah.
Can we come to you, and how would you deal with that?
Heck yeah. So why do the cricks happen, right? You're talking about like when you wake up in the morning or something like that.
I just can't turn my head.
Yeah, man. It happens all the time. So that occurs because when you sleep, your muscles relax. So sometimes people like have a terrible pillow or their like head falls off like the pillow or something like that, or their animal or their partner like pushes them off to the side or whatever it is. And then what happens when they kind of fall off like that, the muscles aren't functioning, as good when you're sleeping. And then the joints slightly move out of place, you know what I mean? If you're like caught, tilted over like that or so. And then when you wake up, the muscles reactivate, you get up and bam, now they're spasming down because the joint's not sitting exactly where it is.
So the joint is kind of moved over a little bit.
You got it.
And your muscles are acting like they haven't.
Exactly. It's like they spasm out because now we've, there's like, it's at risk, right? It feels like there's like, damage or something going on. So then you wake up, the muscle spasms out, and that's where the crick is. So you can't move because the joint has malalignment to it, along with the spasming happening with it. And then what we do, and again, chiropractors, physical therapists, osteopaths, which are like the doctor of DOs, what we do, we can all do manipulation. And so what we're able to do is we get the muscles to relax out by doing therapies. It could be ultrasounds, electrical stim, dry needling, all these type of things to get the muscles to just relax. And then we can shift that joint back to where it's supposed to go. And then provide some stuff afterwards to help with that rehab after a crick neck. And so you probably had a crick neck before, I'm assuming, where it's lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we can knock it out in a day or two. You know what I mean?
Do you ever do the shocking thing?
What?
You put like dry needles in and shock the needles?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
What's that?
So let's talk about the difference between acupuncture and dry needling, because that's going to be the first question that happens usually. So acupuncture, Chinese meridian, energy flow, that type of stuff. Dry needling, what we do is that if there's a trigger point, which means like the muscles really tightened up, we take this little needle, you basically stick it down into the muscle tissue, and we create good damage to the issue. Because your brain, when there's like a trigger point where the muscle's spastic, your brain doesn't look at that and go, hey, there's a problem there. It's not like a cut or something. So with dry needling, what we do is we stick that needle down into that trigger point, we create a little bit of micro damage to it, so now the body knows where to go and heal it, and we get those little muscles that are kind of like all mixed up, and we get them to relax out with the electrical stim that we attach onto the top of the dry needle.
So the body is then sending blood to where they think is damaged, it's been so micro damaged, it's not even really real damage to it.
Right.
But that blood is actually what then heals it up.
Yep, that's it.
That's awesome.
I've had that before.
It's super cool though. But
why is it called dry needling?
Because it's wet needling is like basically like drawing blood or plasma or putting in like medication or something. With dry needling, you're not doing that kind of stuff, and it doesn't most of the time doesn't like cause like a bleed or anything like that. Those needles are so thin.
Yeah, they're not like real needles either. They don't inject them with their thumb. It's almost like some kind of air,
Yeah.
like blow needle.
That's how we actually do it in our clinic. I get like it out and hit him like that. And it's great.
Do you really
serious?
No, it's
Oh, okay. But they do have like an air popper thing that pops it down, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
No. It has like it's like a little piece of plastic. The needle's like attached to it. You just flick the needle off, and then you tap it down with your finger.
Yeah.
And then you take the sleeve off of it, and then you just put that needle slowly into it, and then you do your work on it.
If someone were listening to this, they had never been to a chiropractor, like what should they expect their first time?
Yeah, I mean, well, at least within our office, because every clinic's a little bit. most clinics do it relatively the same, but every clinic does a little bit different. You know, Amy, you talked to me about your cool experience with the squirrel suit, if I remember correctly. I think you said that. But like what the experience is within our office, you know, patient comes in, we sit down. It's usually a 45-minute appointment where we like listen to the, you know, get their full history, what's going on with you, how long has it been going on, why is this happening, figure out what the source of the issue is, explain it to the patient what's going on and why the issues are occurring and how we're going to be able to make this better. And then we do, you know, a lot of times we'll do the adjustment in there, and sometimes we don't adjust. Every person doesn't need it all the time. But then we'll adjust the areas that need to be taken care of. We'll do muscle work. We'll do ART on them, which is like an active release technique. We try to work on muscle balance, skeletal balance, and nervous system balance. And then we take them back, usually do some type of like therapy to help, you know, with the adjustments to hold a lot better as well.
What exactly is an adjustment? What is it doing?
Yeah, so an adjustment is shifting, you know, is slightly shifting the segment where we feel malalignment or restriction to. And again, kind of what we were saying before is that we want to have mobility as medicine with a joint. So when a patient has pain, like, you know, oh, I can't breathe now, you know, landed on the bathtub wrong, it's not a bruise, it's not broken, all it's done is shifted that rib out of place, and so now they can't breathe because the joint's not functioning correctly. Then what we do is you look at that rib, for example, we shift that rib head right back into the socket where it's supposed to be. And again, subluxation is different than dislocation. Sublux just is out by a millimeter or so. Dislocation is where it completely comes out.
So even if it's out a millimeter, it's off.
It can change a lot. I mean, like patients will literally go, like for a rib sublux, for example, will literally go to the ER and they'll run all the tests and all that stuff. And they're like, I mean, you look pretty good in here. And then they'll come in, they're like, I've just been in dying pain. I shallow breathing, all that kind of stuff. We just knock that rib right in and it changes it just like that.
Can you feel somebody's back or their legs? And can you actually tell, or is that part of just like a game? Like, oh, I see you're a little off here.
Yeah, I mean, so again, with range of motions, motion, fascial restrictions, fascia is like that. That material that is below the skin and above the muscle. It keeps like the gliding between your tissue. So we can like manipulate that. What's the rest of the question on that?
Can you actually feel when someone's off?
Yeah, you totally can. I mean, you palpate that. That's what we like learn in school is feeling those joints and where is it malaligned? I'll hit it and be like, is that tender? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's a spot. Knock it in. No more tenderness with it because the muscle's not as tense anymore. Feel good.
Do you ever like touch them on top of the head and be like, this is your happiness head. This is your, and I can fix those things.
Like,
you ever do that kind of thing?
No.
Yeah. Right. I've just seen some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Not from you, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'll explain my situation, which, by the way, I had to sign paperwork before he came in case he kills me.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, I mean,
You never know, right?
Yeah.
We have a table. Is this your table you brought from work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is one of our portable tables. It's my other doc's. He let me borrow it.
I'm going to lay on the table. Now, here's what happened to me. 5 or so weeks ago, I had 2 little tears in my rotator cuff.
Okay.
I'm now cleared. The tears are fine, but my shoulder now has a bit, lack of mobility a bit.
There you go.
A little bit of tendonitis now because I just did nothing with it.
Okay.
And so I've been having some work done on it. So you can have it. You can adjust me. You can do whatever you want. Just don't. I don't have to use the papers. You know. I don't want to have to like take those papers I signed and be like.
Oh no, yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
It's just for that, but like
I felt weird signing papers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to like sign papers.
Yeah. Well, it's it's just to protect the license, right? It's like under state of Tennessee, for example. Anytime you work on a patient, you just got to make sure that you have like that.
I don't even know what I signed. I'll be honest with you.
Dude, that's a good way to put it.
But
Protect the
also,
license.
is it part of HIPAA too? Like,
Yeah.
because if he whispers something to you that he doesn't want us to hear, like you can't
Exactly.
repeat it.
Yeah, well, and I don't know what
Kinda hard
microphones
here.
can do with it, but but like if we like did something at like your house now or something like that, or you came in the office, I can't talk to patients about unless you give me specific.
So you guys have HIPAA.
Oh heck yeah, man.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
That's a
Well,
good time.
I'm gonna walk over to the table
Good luck.
Yeah.
and let's see what happens. If something happens to me, rip up the paper, Scuba. I do not give clearance.
the
Rip the
paper,
papers up. The permission slip I signed. Okay.
happened.
Okay. All right. I'm now on the table. And I'm laying down, stomach first. How we doing, doctor? Best back you ever seen?
Oh, dude, it looks fantastic.
Thank
man.
you.
I've never seen anything better.
Thank you.
So basically, what we do first is we just like, are you feeling any tension in the upper neck? Or
I
sorry,
feel
upper
tension
back?
my whole life.
Your whole life. Okay.
Yeah, everything.
So basically, what we do is we feel like muscle tension, right? We know your traps are super tight. We know what you do for work and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And so what we do is like, okay, we know where our traps are tight, rhomboids are tight. We can work on some posture issues with you and all that kind of stuff. But our job then today is to basically go down. We know that you're tight right in here. It's pretty restricted within that joint. We can go down there. It's relatively restricted, like right through here.
Yep.
So what we'll do first, go face up for me on the back.
Ah, yes. That's my first time being asked that.
What?
Won't be your last.
Probably will be my last, though. All right, I'm now looking at the ceiling.
Let's see here. So let's move that right there. All right. So what we'll need to do is we'll cross your arms here.
Okay.
All right. And then Steve, you'll probably want to get like, right here. Yeah, maybe go a little higher.
Oh, I'm in squeezed.
So scuba's helping in all this?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Take a big deep breath in. Let it all the way out. All the way out. All the way out. Is that okay if these are off?
Yeah.
He's gonna die.
All right. Feel that one there?
Yeah, I felt it. Did you guys hear that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move down a little bit more. All right. Steve, right here. Big deep breath in. All the way out. Nice and easy.
Wow.
Why are you laughing,
Is
Bones?
that
Pretty
your
good.
All right.
funny
Let's do
bone?
his low back while we're at
I'm for
it.
sure
We'll get his
6'1"
back
now,
going.
though.
So this one's going to be pretty good because I remember the last time when you were having that psoas issue.
Oh, the classic SOAS.
Oh, yeah, you know. Let's turn your back a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. You guys see what I do all day?
I'm half
I have to go
fetal.
to the gym. All right, there you go. Hold here for me, and then this will be on the low back, Steve. There you go. So we're going to go like right there. All right, ready? Okay, deep breath in. All the way out. Nice and easy.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Did you break his back?
Oh! He went full mount and
we
then
did.
broke your back.
All right, flip the other way for me, too.
That's like a wrestling move.
That's
Yeah,
gonna feel so good.
He had his knee up in your
I
stomach.
thought you were doing this
I
today,
can't
you
stop
know?
laughing.
Oh!
Okay, come forward a little bit.
Yep.
Go in the back a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so here, just trying to get your low back nice and loose from the sitting. All right, ready?
Yep.
Let me see if we're tight. Okay, big deep breath in. All the way out. Nice and easy. Got it. There you go, man.
Okay.
Face up on the back. All right, let's do that neck.
Wait, which way do I turn?
Face up.
Face up.
Can you move, Bones?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good.
No permission. Oh, no permission slip needed yet. Okay. Just the one that goes. Brrr.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to like try for extra sound.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah, good.
Nice and easy for you.
Scuba, this mic feels a little close to my face.
It's kind of a weird angle right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice and easy right there. Kind of relax it out.
Oh.
That's crazy.
And Steve, we'll go to the other side if that's okay.
Is that the paper we hear, or is that his neck?
Yeah, that part right there. Now
No,
this
no.
part, you'll hear it. Turn left a little bit. Nice and relaxed.
Oh
Oh!
gosh.
Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You broke his neck.
Good deal. Nice. All right,
Whoa,
sit
whoa.
up. Let's look at your shoulder. Is that
You
okay?
guys hear
Just
that?
a second.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You feel all right, man?
Turn
Yeah.
that way for me.
I never smoke, but I need a cigarette.
Here, let me get it out. Ready? Can you do it in the studio? All right. So this is the shoulder, right?
It is.
So where do you have like restriction in your range?
Probably here.
Going back? Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
does it
then-
hurt if I do that to it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Can you reach behind your back and see how far up you can go? Okay,
I mean-
so see that? Try this one real quick. How far can that go back? Okay, see the difference on that?
Okay.
Okay. So with this, take your hand, hold on your waist like this for me. Okay. Bring your elbow forward a little bit. And then I'm going to come back right here. Take your elbow and push back towards me hard. There we go. Just a little bit. Push back. Okay. Bring it up like this.
Dude, it sounds like it's crumbling.
Yeah.
Bring it here. See, and you can't hear like what they're hearing, like the little micro.
No, this is called a hammerlock.
Yep, that's right.
Hulk Hogan.
Any pain with that?
Nope.
Okay, nice and easy.
Look at that bicep,
Got
though.
it. There we go. Sweet. Now, what it will do is put your hand back here. Push your hand into your back real quick. Relax it. Bring it up a little bit more. Push in. You okay on that?
Yep.
So now we're trying to work the muscle a little bit. Bring it up a little bit. Push
Bones,
back.
he's doing the cop thing, you know, where like,
Yeah, cuff and
You're under
stuff.
arrest.
yeah.
I have one hand free though.
You can get him.
I'll show him why I oughta.
Thumb down like this over to the side.
Okay.
Push up on me. So we're stretching that muscle out just a little bit. Reach behind your back real quick as far as you can. Okay. Try this one again. Look at that. Pretty close.
I'm healed.
Difference on that.
Easy
So
as
sweet.
pie.
So range of motion change. You know what I mean?
I mean, it sounded like snap, crackle, pop, like Rice Krispie treat.
Okay.
And that's the like the nitrous oxide gas being moved or out of the joint. because you're like each of these joints are made of synovius fluid. So,
Yeah, duh, idiots.
Yeah, you guys know this, don't
Yeah,
you?
stupid idiots.
It's pretty. I remember learning one time.
Yes.
And then so the joints have a capsule around it. They have like a fluid or an oil in it. And then what happens as you move through the day, the oil will build up like nitrous oxide in it, and then that's what we're doing is we're releasing that oil or that the bubble out of the oil, which makes it feel better, and it's a shift of the joint.
So if we've never been, we got a lot of oil in there.
Yep. So what happens is when you don't don't get adjusted or you don't do movement and stuff like that, as you get older, the synovium fluid will start drying up. And that's when you start hearing crepitus, like little crackles and stuff like that with inside your joint. And then so that's why it's so important, again, to keep those joints moving, working out, doing stuff like that, getting treated, getting adjusted, PT, any of that type of stuff. So your lubrication within the joints stay full.
More lubrication.
Dude,
That's what I
Can
say.
all use
do you
that.
feel lubricated right now?
I couldn't feel more lubricated.
Oh, man.
So if you guys can follow Dr. Bradshaw on his Instagram, Bradshaw_chiropractic, or go to bradshawchiropractic.com. And what's behind a pop? I think we've learned.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear mine popping.
Oh,
It
we
was
all
hot.
heard it.
Good.
Yeah.
We heard it.
Was it hot?
Yeah.
No.
Was it manly? Was it one of those things?
I felt like he liked it, all right?
Yeah.
You know, so-
I laughed at it. I laughed at it pop.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Bradshaw, we appreciate you coming in. What's the one takeaway from our entire segment and conversation today that you want people to go with?
So, it's good to get it. It's good to get adjusted. It's good to make sure you take care of yourself. If you wake up or you just have a pop or click inside the joints, that's not usually a huge deal. But if your joints have pain with it when they pop or click or they get caught or something like that, it's such a good idea to make sure that you go get it checked out because it's only going to get worse or it's only going to degenerate worse and just, go down that way. So that's my huge takeaway on that is just make sure you take care of yourself with that because people put things off for 20 years and then they wonder why it's so broken down later on.
Yeah, I felt that. That's like leaving your check engine light on.
Yep.
I like
And then I was looking with on our Instagram too, like you're saying too. I'd love to say that. It's just but we post a lot of videos of people getting adjusted, like how joints move and how joints work and how you can get, do certain things at home and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that shout out.
The home version of the game.
Yeah, man.
It's up on his Instagram.
Yeah, I really do.
Bradshaw_chiropractic. Dr. Bradshaw, we appreciate you as always.
Yeah,
And
thanks, man.
until next time. There he is, Dr. Bradshaw.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
It's about